sit here in the front. Okay, grade 9, I hope that you're doing well. In today's session, we're gonna quickly revise what we have already taken in topic 8.7 and 8.8 as fast as possible. So, in topic 8.7, we started by speaking about the trading in East Africa. And to speak about East Africa and the civilization which started to begin in that place, we need to speak first about the kingdom of Axiom. Kingdom of Axiom. To put everything in its place, if we went here to the maps, you would find out that Axiom is located today in two of the East African countries, which are Ethiopia and Eritrea. So let's take this and full screen. So the kingdom of Axiom, which started in East Africa, was located in this place. Started here in this area because, of course, this area is here we have bingo, the equator. So that's the rainforest area, and above the rainforest we have the savanna area. So the people in Axiom started by farming, then they started expanding, and most important about that, they started their process of trade. Since they have access to the Red Sea, they started to have one of the most important port cities in the ancient world. Of course, it was supervising the Red Sea. It was in this location. It was called what, if you can remember? Abydos. Abydos. The city of Abydos, it was like a portal city. So all the ships and the boats crossing the Red Sea from the Mediterranean world in order to reach India, they must stop here in this place for maintenance, number one, and number two, in order to support them with some food. Okay, maintenance and also food. Consequently, they started to grow very widely, especially in the process of trade. Because the people who are coming from North Africa and the Mediterranean world, they started to bring all the goods and merchandise to the city-states of Axiom. And of course, this would bring wealth to them. So to speak about Axiom simply, an ideal location for trade. Ideal location. Ideal location is like perfect location. Perfect location. So located to the southeast of Nubia. Axiom extended from the mountains of present-day Ethiopia to the sunlit shores of the Red Sea in present-day Eritrea. So Ethiopia and Eritrea. The location expanded from Ethiopia to Eritrea nowadays. From Ethiopia to present-day Eritrea. The peoples of Axiom. Peoples of Axiom. What do you mean by the word peoples? Not only the people of the country. We have people of Saudi Arabia. They are called the citizens of Saudi Arabia. But when I say the people of the Arab world, how many people do we have in the Arab world? How many? Is it? How many peoples are there in the Arab world? 13? A little bit more. A little bit less. How many Arab countries do we have? We have 22 Arab countries. Each country has its own citizens. Consequently, we have 22 peoples in the Arab world. But the number of population of the Arab world, of course, it's being measured by millions. But the word peoples refer to different citizens of different countries. Different citizens of different countries. When we speak here about the peoples of Axiom, we're speaking about during the time, long periods of time, six states started to grow, mixed together, combined together in order to create the kingdom of Axiom. And by doing that, the citizens started to change and shift. Those are the peoples of Axiom. So when I mentioned the peoples of Saudi Arabia, so we're speaking about the people since King Abdulaziz started annexation, or even before that, the first Saudi state until today. Those are the peoples of Saudi Arabia. But when I say the people of Saudi Arabia, we're speaking about 30 million. Okay? So the people of Axiom, they were descendant from the African farmers. Why farmers? Easy. We are living in the region of Savannah. Savannah has or support the fertile land. Consequently, all the people living there will be farmers. Also, the people of the Middle East who brought the Jewish tradition through Arabia. Nice. So they were farmers and also descendants of the Jewish people. This merging of culture gave rise to a unique written and spoken language. So the language of Axiom was called the Geese. Language of Axiom was called the Geese. The language of the people of Axiom was called the Geese. The kingdom of Axiom also profited from the strategic location, supervising the Red Sea and the trading routes between the Middle East, Mediterranean world, and India. Of its two main cities. So the main city on the Red Sea was the port of Athens. The port of Athens was on the Red Sea, and also the upland capital city of Axiom. So the most two important cities, the two important or two main cities. The two main cities were Adelos, the port city supervising the Red Sea, and also Axiom, which was the capital city. Malik, start here. Take a breath. Yes. Tournament, volleyball. Okay, all the best. Okay. So, the kingdom of Axiom supported many city-states, but the most important two were the port one, Adelos, and also the capital, Axiom. By approximately 400, the kingdom commanded a triangular trade network. Triangular means we're speaking about three trade locations. Number one, connected Africa, India, and also all of the Mediterranean world. Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean world. Why? Yes. So again, Axiom, since it was supervising one of the most important volleyball also, supervising the Red Sea, and the Red Sea held the network to Mediterranean world. Let's have another one. So simply here, that's the location of Axiom at the beginning. And then they even started to expand to take areas from Asia itself. Today is, yeah. So for this location, they are supervising one of the most important trading routes in the ancient world, which was number one, we have the Mediterranean world. That's the Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean world connected civilizations like the ancient Greek civilization, Egyptian civilization, and also Mesopotamian civilization. So when we speak of Mediterranean world, we're speaking about those three major civilizations. Greek civilization, ancient Egyptian civilization, and also Mesopotamian civilization. In time, we have already mentioned that this was a cross-world location, supervising three main continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe. So when the people here started to have closer connection to India, they needed a trading routes. And we had several trading routes, inland trading routes and by sea trading routes. For the inland, of course, we had a very, very harsh distance one. And of course, this later was connected to the Silk Road by China. And of course, it wasn't just one trading route. Yet they were many, various. But there was a main one connecting those civilizations by the caravans in the desert and in the other lands. That's not what we want to speak about. We need to speak about the sea location or the sea trading routes. For the sea trading routes, all the people also from the Middle East and the Mediterranean world started to have these types of trade by the ships. So the ships now will have to go through the Red Sea, and by going through the Red Sea, they don't just go directly from here to there. Very harsh journey. They cannot just do it. So they need to have a rest. So they will take rest in Egypt. They will take rest also in Nubia, and also they will take rest in most important Athens, in the kingdom of Axiom. So all the people from here in the Mediterranean world, Asia, Africa, Europe, Greek, ancient Egyptian, Mesopotamia. So they will start trading with the Indian people. They will start carrying their goods and merchandise by the Red Sea to India. So all the merchandise coming from these locations here, all of that will go directly to Adelis before reaching India, and vice versa. When they come back from India, they will also bring the goods and merchandise from India to Axiom and then continue up to the Mediterranean. So this process helped the city-state or the city of Adelos in the kingdom of Axiom to grow more vividly, more wealthy by trade. So far, so good? Okay. So simply Adelos, because of its perfect location, connected the trading in three main places: Africa, India, and also the Mediterranean world. A great variety of goods and enslaved people funneled in and out of the markets of those two cities. Why again? Because all the goods and merchandise from the Mediterranean world reached Athens. And all the goods from India also reached Athens. Consequently, they had variety of goods and merchandise. And of course, this helped in bringing like traders. They brought ivory, animal head, and also the gold of the markets of the city-state of Axiom. Goods also from farther south and across the Indian Ocean came to the Red Sea harbor of Adelos. There, in Adelos, the traders and the markets offered iron species and spices, precious stones and cotton cloth from India and other lands beyond the Indian Ocean. The ships started carrying these commodities up to the Red Sea, these merchandise and goods, where they collected goods from Europe and countries along the Mediterranean, as we have just mentioned. Christianity takes a hold. We have always mentioned this. While we are trading with a civilization, we do not just trade goods and merchandise, but also the ideas and beliefs. The ideas and beliefs. Christianity started to spread first here, from Jerusalem, Palestine, to Egypt. Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, was born in Jerusalem, and then he traveled along with his mother into Egypt. So Christianity started first to appear in the Mediterranean, and later started to move to Mesopotamia and Europe, but it spread more vividly in Europe. And simply, since the people from this location, Mediterranean world, started to trade with India, and while trading, they went to Axiom. So they brought their ideas and beliefs to the city-state of Adelos, and from Adelos to the whole kingdom of Axiom. So simply, Christianity started to spread in Axiom by merchandisers and traders. The merchant traders, they brought their beliefs and ideas from the Mediterranean world into Axiom. And even when Islam came and started to appear after Christianity, also the Muslim people brought Islam by this process. So to speak about Christianity takes hold and spread to Axiom. In these great centers of international trade, Greek, Egyptian, Arab, and Jewish merchants mingled with traders from Africa. Mingled means going, encountered, connected. So all of these traders would help later to spread their ideas and their beliefs. Their ideas and their beliefs. Indian and other regions. Ideas spread as these goods were traded. By approximately 300, Christianity has already reached the region by the merchants and the traders. After converting to the new religion, Axiom King Izana made Christianity the official religion of the kingdom. So, Axiom King Izana, he made the Christianity the official religion in Axiom. As Christianity took hold among the Axiom people, they replaced old temples with Christian churches, decorated with intricately designed religious images and murals painted on wood panels, like what we can see today in the Christian church. Also, when Islam came into the Arabian Peninsula by the middle of the 7th century, the people there also started to mingle with the people of Africa and spread their ideas. At first, Christianity strengthened the ties between Axiom and North Africa. Why? Because when Christianity came, the majority of people in North Africa were Christian, especially those in Egypt. Egypt accepted Christianity by Jesus Christ, and Christianity spread widely in Egypt. So it was like the center of Christianity in Africa. And even they started to build a magnificent church, and they had their own pope Pope like the most highest eminent person in Christianity. So the Church of Alexandria supported its own Pope. Okay? So Christianity was very, very strong in Egypt. And when Axiom became Christian also, so the ties between Egypt in North Africa and Axiom in East Africa became even more strong. And the Mediterranean world in approximately the 600s, however, Islam began to spread across North Africa. Who started to spread Islam in North Africa? Tariq ibn Ziyad, before Tariq ibn Ziyad. So the person who opened Egypt and spread Islam and it was Amr ibn al-As at the reign of Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab. And the people in Egypt, the Christian, they went to Umar asking him, come, open us, leave, let us get rid of the Byzantine Empire. Because the Byzantine Empire, they were Christian in name, not in faith. So they dealt with the people in Egypt badly. They even have taken the Pope from Alexandria and exiled him in the desert so that the church will not be strong. So they affected the people badly. The Christians from the Byzantine Empire of Rome, okay, in Europe, came to conquer Egypt and took Egypt under their control. They dealt badly with the Christian there, so the Christian people from Egypt went to Umar ibn al-Khattab to open Egypt by Islam. Umar sent Amr ibn al-As and Islam started to spread that because the people there accepted it quietly. So, and also other regions surrounding Axiom. Many African rulers embraced this new faith, creating strong cultural ties across much of the continent. Axiom, which remained Christian, they grow isolated from the trading network, by distance from Europe and also by religion from many former trading partners. But unfortunately, civil war and economic decline combined together helped in the decline of Axiom. And the kingdom slowly started to decline. So two major reasons helped in the decline of Axiom: civil war and also the economic decline. What about Ethiopia? After Axiom started to decline, the city-state or the kingdom of Ethiopia started to rise. Though Axiom political and economic power faded, its cultural and religious influence did not disappear. This legacy has already survived amongst the people of interior uplands in what is today northern Ethiopia. Although Axiom's empire was only a portion of the present-day nation, when referring to its kingdom as a whole, yet the Axiomite kings frequently used Ethiopia as a term the Greek used for the region. So, Axiom declined, yet the tradition itself did not disappear. And the term axiom itself was used by the Greeks referring to the region. Which region? This region. So the Greek people who came from the Mediterranean world to trade with India, going through the Red Sea, they used the term Ethiopia to refer to that region. A distinctive culture. Simply, if you have many people coming to your land by the process of trade, consequently, you're going to collect a lot of information and a lot of cultural and ideal backgrounds from those people. So your culture will be very, very special one, distinctive one. Medieval Ethiopia. Medieval means the medieval refers to the middle ages. The middle ages. They call it the dark ages, especially in Europe. But for the Muslim civilization, the medieval was the golden age of Islam. When people in Europe didn't even have bathrooms, the people in the Muslim world, they have already made and invented the road. Today, it was from the 10th, 11th century, medieval. That's why we call it Middle Ages. So, the medieval Ethiopia was protected by rugged mountains, the natural barriers. And also, descendants of the Axiomites were able to maintain their own independence for centuries. Their success was due in part to the unifying power of their Christian faith, which gave them a unique sense of identity and also helped establish a culture distinct from that of their neighboring people. Since they have their own faith, monotheistic, consequently they grow more strong in ties rather than the polytheistic people around their own kingdom. One example of Ethiopia's distinct culture is the unique church of Layakla. So one example of Ethiopian distinct culture is the churches of Liabla came to power in Ethiopia. Because of course we had a king had the same name, and this king started to build many churches. So we call his name, or we gave his name to these churches. During his reign means the time of ruling. During his reign, King Leabla directed the building of 11 remarkable churches that workers have already carved from ground level downward into the solid rock of the mountains. These amazing structures still exist today and illustrate the architectural and artistic skills of the craftsmen who have already created them at that time. Despite their isolation, the Ethiopian churches kept ties with the Holy Land. What is the Holy Land? Huh? For Christians, what are the Holy Lands? Italy. No. Vatican was created in Italy in the present day or in the new days so that they dominate power over the Christian world. By the Holy Land, so the Christians are in. Yes, they are in Jerusalem because the main church to which they perform their pilgrimage is in Jerusalem, Palestine. In fact, some made even pilgrimage to Jerusalem. They also were in touch with Christian communities in Egypt. Over time, Ethiopian Christianity absorbed many local customs, traditions. East African music and dance were adapted. And also their influence is still felt in Ethiopian churches serving services today. In addition, the services are still conducted in the ancient language of the Ge'ez people. Judaism in Ethiopia. The kings of Ethiopia claimed descent from the Israelite king Solomon himself and the queen of the Sheba. In Arabic, queen of Saba. And of course, you know the story of Solomon and the queen of Sheba, right? Yes. Again, while speaking about Ethiopia, the first civilization to come was the kingdom of Axiom. And we said that Axiom started to thrive until it had already controlled all of that area. No, not Nubia. Like here. When Axiom declined, fell down, another group of people came and they controlled this land. They had closer connection. And simply, our ancestors had already lived in these parts of Yemen. So even if we grow into a new kingdom, holding control of only this land, so our ancestors have already lived there. Consequently, we are descendants from those people. And as we have mentioned, King Solomon, along with the Queen of Sheba, or Sabbath in the Arabic language, some people said that they got married. So we are the descendants of both Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, just like that. So again, the kings of Ethiopia claimed something to pretend that had already been done. So they claimed to be descendant from the Israelite king Solomon and also the queen of Sheba. This belief was recorded in an ancient Ethiopian book called The Glory of the Kings, and reinforced by the fact that Ethiopians observe some of the Jewish holidays and dietary laws. Some Ethiopians also practiced Judaism, not the predominant Christianity. Those Ethiopian lords or Jewish lived in the mountains of Ethiopia until the late 1900s, when most evacuated to Israel due to famine and also persecutions. For the city-states of East Africa, while Axiom declined, a string of commercial cities, including Keula, Mogadishu, Mombasa, and also Sofala, gradually arose along the East African coast. Since ancient time, Phoenicians, Greeks, Roman, and Indian also traders have visited this region in East Africa. In the 700s, the Arab traders began visiting this region more frequently, and Arab and Persian merchants also set up Muslim trading centers, beginning in the 900s. Port cities, as well as offshore islands such as Lamu and Zanzibar, were ideally located for trade with Asia. As a result, the Asian traders and the immigrants from as far away as Indonesia soon added to the rich culture. So again, the same idea. The people from the three major continents came together in East Africa, enriching Africa in wealth and cultural ideas and backgrounds. Trade in the Indian Ocean. By approximately the 600s, the sailors had already learned that the annual monsoons would carry the sailing ships line the water of the Indian Ocean between India and Africa. So one of the major reasons for the trade was the annual monsoons. Yes, yes. On East African coast, rulers took advantage of the opportunities of trade that these winds of the Indian Ocean provided. And of course, as we have mentioned, this photo resembles a mixture of merchants in the same city in East Africa. They welcomed the ships from Arabia, Persia, and even China. Because of the demand of the goods from customers, the traders acquired ivory, leopard skins, iron, copper, and even gold. From India, Southeast Asia, and China came cotton cloth, silk, spices, porcelain, glassware, and even the sword. The traders from Arabia, Persia, and China also contributed to the development of the slave trade. By that time, slavery was still existing and wasn't stopped one time. Customers of these traders also throughout Asia were eager to purchase slaves for use in their homes and also the forced labor. As we have mentioned before, the slaves, they even worked in the household or some of them were the skilled artisans. In every port, the traders purchased enslaved people who have been captured on raids into the interior of Africa. Raids, like when you are living peacefully and someone come to attack your clan or your city or your village, and they take you in slavery. Trade into, including also the trade of the enslaved Africans was beneficial to the merchants, and it also helped local rulers build strong independent city-states. Although they competed for trade, relations between the city-states were generally peaceful. A Muslim visitor describes the city-state of Kewla as saying the most successful city-state, as one of the most beautiful and well-constructed towns in the world back then. And we're speaking about the 7th century. Its royal palace still stands on cliffs that today overlooks the ocean. The complex consists of the courtyards, terraces, nearly approximately 100 rooms, built of coral and harstone. The structure is evidence of the old city's splendor. Splendor meaning wealth. Trade influence Sawahli. Sawahli came from the Arabic word sahel, coast. And of course, the successful East African international trade system led to the emergence of a vibrant culture and language known as the Sawahli language, or the language of the coastal people. By approximately 1000 or the first millennia, many East African coastal cities had not only grown in wealth but also in size. And of course, this was due to the surplus of food. Traders from the Middle East and Africa began to settle permanently in flourishing trading cities as Kola. As more settlers arrived, the local East African culture started to absorb cultural elements from these new residents. For example, the architecture of private houses and palaces illustrated a blend of East African and Arabic designs. So once again, the same idea. When people trade, they trade their cultural background, ideas, beliefs, everything in the same civilization. That's going to be it for today, and we shall continue later.